Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another UFC fight prediction video. In this video, I'll be predicting the full card of fights for UFC 318, Holloway versus Poirier 3. So without further ado, let's get to our first fight on the card. Scroll all the way down. First fight on the card, we have in the women's flyweight division, we got Judice versus Nicole Caliari. And how do I feel about this one right here? I'm going low confidence Judice to beat Nicole Caliari. Low confidence Judice to beat Caliari. I think Caliari is the more well-rounded fighter, but has she really been able to fight the best competition? She hasn't. I feel like Judice, her record might not be as pretty. Let me see. 4-2 versus 8-3. Yeah, it's not as pretty. But she's definitely for better competition. And she's been competitive in all her fights, even like against the best competition that she can fight with. Caliari hasn't really fought no UFC level fighters yet. And I think that's a big advantage. It was a big advantage for Judice in her last fight. I think it'll be a big advantage here. I think Judice will have a strong striking advantage. Grappling and Caliari might have that, but I think Judice can address the grappling. And I'll strike her win the decision here. But again, not no great confidence here. I think Judice is the right side, but again, a fight I can't really feel too confident on just yet. Judice hasn't really proven to be a true winner yet. And Caliari, we just have not really seen her fight elite competition, so we're not gonna see how she rises to the occasion. Haven't really seen Judice at the UFC level really tested so much in the grappling yet. So again, a lot of question marks on both sides. So again, I can't feel greatly confident in this fight, but I will say low confidence Judice. I think her experience and her striking will do her a big justice, or do her a lot of justice in this fight. So in this one, I got Judice via decision. Now to our next fight, we have in the middleweight division, we got Bruno Ferreira versus Jackson McVey. And how do I feel about this one right here? I'm going average confidence Bruno Ferreira to beat Jackson McVey. So McVey is another question mark. Big, long guy. He got a little bit of power. He got some grappling as well. But Ferreira is a proven vet. And McVey, as far as the upset potential, MMA, outside of UFC, definitely a lot of crazy stuff happens all the time. But in UFC, there is much more structure. Like, crazy stuff does happen in UFC, but rarely does. And it does kind of still follow some type of pattern. And you got to at least, be some real highly touted veteran outside the UFC or something. Not just a guy that has literally fought, nobody did nothing. Like, you might come in here, have a good showing for a little bit, or he might drop Ferreira, or he might have him in deep submission at some point. But those guys, 1 out of 100 chance, 1% out or less than a percent, what I'm trying to say, but a very, very slim chance that guys like this ever come in and do what they do. And at least guys that do come in, they do go on to be names, and it's a very rare occasion. Very, 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 very extremely rare. So yeah, McVey just has fought extremely mediocre competition, and he has very few fights in general. So he has few fights in extremely mediocre competition. And Bruno Ferreira just came off beating a solid striker. He was able to hurt him on the feet at points, take him down, submitted him. So he's fought a better striker. He's fought better grapplers. He's fought better overall fighter. Everybody he's fought has been way more proven than McVey. Last time Ferreira probably fought a guy at the level of McVey was probably when he was coming up. But he's been in the UFC for 3, 4, 5 years now. Probably 3, 4 years. Fought some good guys. Maybe one loss. How many losses? I think he only had one loss in UFC. He might only have one loss to you. I think he only has one loss. But anyway, yeah, McVey got interesting fighter here, but way too big of a step. I think Ferreira is probably going to TKO him. And I don't think McVey look like a guy that's, could take a hit. I feel like Ferreira probably made a crack at the body, maybe drop on a body shot, then finish with some ground and pound, or maybe touch him the body a bit, get him to drop his hands, catch him an overhand. All right, either way, I think he'll win. He can win the striking, he can win the grappling. Subs definitely live, but I'm going to go the opposite way. I'm going to say KO. I think he'll be hurt McVey. McVey's never really fought a guy at this level, never been hit like that. I don't think he's really built to be hit. He's long, he's lanky, he's very skinny. I don't think this guy can take a punch to the chin. I don't think this guy can take a shot to the body. I don't think he can take any type of damage. Once he's got that really good hit, start hitting him, I think he's gonna crack to that power in, I'm gonna say, first round. So in this one, I got Bruno Ferreira via first round TKO. Now for the next fight, we have in the heavyweight division, we got Ryan Spann versus Lucas Brzeski. And how do I feel about this one right here? We're going low confidence Ryan Spann to beat Lucas Brzeski. You can never be super confident in Ryan Spann. It just is what it is. But I think he beat Lucas Brzeski. I think he's the better overall fighter. It's not like Brzeski's a real hitter. It's not like Brzeski's volume or technique is all that great. He is the truer heavyweight. But yeah, Brzeski is he like a volume fighter. Okay takedown offense in a volume fighter. I think Ryan Spann issue is, pretty much getting chin. That's his issue. IQ and his chin. But yeah, Brzeski not a big hitter. And I think Ryan Spann is going to be able to beat a bigger, stronger fighter despite being a former light heavyweight. And I think I'll grab Brzeski, I think I'll strike Brzeski. And I'm going to say, I'll say first round knockout for Ryan Spann. I think he'll be able to touch the chin of Brzeski. I think he'll be more technical striker, bigger, more explosive, and be able to find the chin of Brzeski, who doesn't have the best defense and doesn't have the best chin. I think Ryan Spann is the more talented fighter, and he should be able to get back to the winning side here. So, in this one, I have Ryan Spann via first round TKO. Now to our next fight, we have in the light heavyweight division, we got Jimmy Crute versus Marcin Prachnio. And how do I feel about this one right here? Is I'm going low confidence Jimmy Crute to beat Marcin Prachnio. Another fight between two untrustworthy fighters, but Jimmy Crute, I think he is the younger fight. He's still extremely young. Yeah, he's still not even 30 yet. He's been in UFC a long time and still not even 30 yet. Going in with the 37-year-old Prachnio, who's been submitted in 2 of his last 3 losses. And Crute does have a pretty underrated ground game. He's the more well-rounded fighter. He's pretty tough. So Crute's tough and durable. So I'm not too worried about him getting chinned or nothing in this fight. And then it also not like Prachnio really has too much power outside of his kicks anyway. And I think when Crute has been stopped, well, he did get his legs chopped out, but Prachnio hasn't really shown to be. He got good power in his kicks, but he's not a great calf kicker. He's not a guy that's going to leg kick TK. Like you definitely going to feel his kicks to the body, to the head if he does land it, or to the legs. But he's not going to put you out of commission. So he's not a good calf kicker. It'll hurt, it'll get your attention, but it's not going to stop you, basically, with his kicks. As far as to the leg, maybe to the body, definitely to the head, but to the leg, it's not really going to stop you. Unless you're just not checking him at all. Like, you're not checking him at all. You just let him kick you 20 times in the leg. Yeah, that'll stop you. But he's not no, let me see his leg kick. He's not a Ankalaev. I mean, not Ankalaev. He's not Blachowicz. He's not a Ferreira. He's not a Gautier. He's not one of those people that's really going to put you out of commission with their leg. He's not a Barboza. He's not one of those people as far as the leg kicks. He's not an Aldo. But yeah, I'm talking a whole lot about this prediction right here. But yeah, I think Crute's the more well-rounded fighter. He's tough. He's durable. And he does have a strong grappling advantage here. And again, Prachnio has been submitted, I think, both by arm triangle chokes in the last 3 fights. He's been submitted twice by arm triangle chokes in the last 3 fights. Or last 3 losses. And I think Jimmy Crute is a stronger fighter, stronger grappler, more well-rounded, younger, much younger fighter here. Nearly 10 years younger. I think he'll be able to mix it up, take him down, and sub him in the second round. So, in this fight, I have Jimmy Crute via second round submission. Now to our next fight, we have in the welterweight division, we got Adam Fugitt versus Islam Dulatov. And how do I feel about this one right here? Is I'm going average confidence Islam Dulatov to beat Adam Fugitt. Dulatov still is very green, as you can see his background. He has the same green screen I have. I said I have. What language am I speaking? He has the same green screen that I have, like his background. Yeah, but yeah, he's very green. It's the green screen behind him. But I'm not saying super green, but as far as UFC, he has one UFC fight. Fugitt is tough and savvy, but Fugitt hasn't really shown the ability to beat any solid prospect yet, so I do like that a lot. I think Dulatov is the bigger, better fighter, is the more well-rounded fighter, bigger, better, younger, more well-rounded, more power, more this, more that. Fugitt just tough, savvy, and has more UFC experience. That's what he will have. I'm not going to say he's tougher, but he is tough, and he does have more experience. But 10-year youth advantage for Dulatov. And again, I do like the fact that Fugitt has fought some solid prospects. He has given them a good run for their money. But he has been, I think, stopped in all those fights. Like, who he fought? Morales. He fought the Canadian dude. Got finished by Morales. I think he fought one other prospect and lost him as well. Like a solid prospect. I know he fought another, like a Japanese prospect. I think he beat him. But that guy clearly wasn't it. Like, that guy went like 0-2 or 0-3 in the UFC. But Dulatov is, I think, the real deal. I think this fight probably going to look like the Morales fight a bit. A little bit. Probably a little bit competitive through the first, or competitive enough through the first, but I don't think I'm going to go through the third round. They're going to get stopped in the second round. So competitive first round, Dulatov probably edging the round still. Then the second round, I just think Dulatov's going to just run him over and put him out in the second round. But still probably competitive, but once Dulatov starts to connect really, I think Fugitt's going to crumple to the size, the power, and the pressure of Dulatov in that second round. So in this one, I have Islam Dulatov via second round TKO. Now for the next fight, we have in the middleweight division, we got Atiba Gautier versus Robert Valentin. And how do I feel about this one right here? Is I'm going average confidence Atiba Gautier to beat Robert Valentin. And yeah, this low-key has, low-key has upset potential here. Valentin, it's not like Gautier is a wrestler. And that's where Valentin has lost the last 2 fights. Gautier is a striker. I think Valentin does have a bit of grappling on his side. He does. We don't really know where Gautier's grappling is at so far. He's still a young, strong guy. And, he's young, but he's even younger than you think. He's 23 years old. Like, he might look like he's 30 there, but he's 23 years old. So, but I think he wins this one. I think he stops Valentin here. But Valentin is a more experienced fighter. He is the older fighter. He's in his prime, whereas Gautier is like 7 years from his prime. So this is one of those fights where this guy can low-key pull off upset here. Because, again, Valentin might have looked trash, really, and especially his last fight. He looked okay. I think he was winning the early parts of the Ultimate Fighter finale. And then once he got put in a bad position, he just crumbled. So even then, that's even worse. Like, you're looking good when you're winning, but when you become the nail, all of a sudden you can't take a bit of nail. Like, you just get dominated. Oh, you get put in a bad position, you get dominated. Yeah, I can't get behind a guy like that. I can't even say, oh, he does got a slither of a chance to pull up upset. Like, if you are that much of a quitter, like, oh, somebody put you in a bad position, all of a sudden, like, everything good when you on top. As soon as you get put in a bad position, like, you get done like that. If they do have the finishing ability, yeah. And Gautier, despite being the younger guy, the Gerber baby, only 23 years old, I think he'll be the bigger, stronger guy, more mentally tough. He comes from a good gym. He trains with good fighters. He speaks very well. So he's a pretty smart young guy. Don't be confused to see him as this big bruiser. He picks his shots well. He doesn't really force or rush anything despite being so young. He does have one loss on the record, so I'm pretty sure he learned from that one loss. And so I got to be smarter. I can't just rely on my athleticism. So he picks his shots well. He throws in good combinations. I think he'll be the address Valentin's grappling attempts again. I think he'll be bigger and stronger. He might not be as technical in the grappling department, but he'll be bigger and stronger, and he'll be able to make the adjustments to defend the takedowns and stuff. Keep it where he's better at on the striking department. Break Valentin down. And I think he stops Valentin in the second round via TKO. So in this one, I have Atiba Gautier via second round TKO. Now to our next fight. We have in the welterweight division, we got Francisco Prado versus Nikolai Veretennikov. And how do I feel about this one right here? I'm going average confidence Francisco Prado to beat Nikolai Veretennikov. But yeah. Average confidence Prado here. Nikolai is a pretty solid striker. His grappling is beyond mediocre, but his striking is pretty solid. So this could be a tough fight. Both of these guys are really strikers. But the one thing I've been noticing, especially looking at the stats of Prado, is that he's been grappling a lot. I think he took Jake Matthews down like 3 times. And we saw good Matthews just looked in his last fight. Just, yesterday, 2 days ago? So we just saw how good he looked in that fight at grappling department. The fact that Prado was the one having grappling success in that fight shows a lot about Prado's growth in his grappling. And that was a competitive fight. Without a doubt, Matthews won the fight. It was no robbery or nothing. Without a doubt, Matthews definitely won that fight. But Prado was in the fight the whole time. He got a couple takedowns in the fight. And that's against a solid grappler like Jake Matthews. Veretennikov has really no grapple. So, matter of fact, I'm going to have to go Prado by sub here. Yeah, because Veretennikov's grappling very suspect. And also can see Prado outstriking him, hurt him on the feet, then probably take him down. And then the grappling advantage is going to become even stronger. And I can see Prado getting his sub in this one right here. And again, if he was having that success against Matthews with his grappling, imagine what he could do to Veretennikov. So I'm actually going to go the opposite. I'm not going decision. I'm not going knockout. I'm going submission. I'm going with a wild card play here. Prado by a second round submission. They could be a competitive scrap on the feet, but Prado's still getting better of him on the feet. And then once Prado gets him to start, overselling his strikes a little bit, Prado may have to set up the takedowns, get him down to the ground, and then start to break him down, wear him down, drop him ground and pound, cut him up, and get that second round submission over Veretennikov. So in this one, I have Francisco Prado via second round submission. Now to our next fight, we have in the middleweight division, we got Marvin Vettori versus Brendan Allen. And how do I feel about this? Why does my nose wait to start to act up when I'm starting to make a video? Like, I'm all fine the whole time. Then when I start doing a video, now my nose all stuffy, making me stutter even more than I usually stutter. But it is what it is. But yeah, Vettori versus Allen. Low confidence. Allen will beat Vettori. Allen's not extremely trustworthy. Vettori's not extremely Vettori's not extremely trustworthy. Both guys are well rounded. Vettori is definitely more durable, and that definitely gives an opportunity because you can't really say, "Oh, Allen's going to submit him. Allen's going to knock him out." So it seems like Allen's path to victory is by decision. He's definitely going to be looking for the knockout. He's definitely going to be looking for submission, but it's a big test to big task to submit Vettori. No one has done that. No one has knocked him out. So few people have even barely hurt him. Like, who really hurt Vettori? Cannonier and Whitaker. Those are the only people that really, really hurt him. Like, Adesanya definitely caught his attention, but I haven't seen like Adesanya like in none of those 2 fights really hurt him. Like we seen Whitaker visibly hurt him. We seen Cannonier definitely was the one who hurt him the most. But anyway, I think Allen's the better striker. I think he's the better grappler here. Vettori is more durable. I think he has the better gas tank. But I think Allen will be able to put some rounds in the bag before Vettori starts. But then again, when Vettori's down, I haven't really seen him rally so strong, to be honest. So I can see Allen, if he gets a good start, he can maintain a good start. He don't have to be out there pushing some crazy pace to beat Vettori once he gets the lead on him. I think Allen is the better fight. When they fresh off the bat, I think Allen's the better striker, the better grappler. I do think Vettori has the better gas tank. But again, if Allen could get a good lead and maintain that good lead, again, he don't have to run a sprint the whole time. He could get off to a good start and just maintain that start. Long distance it, jog it a little bit, being a sharper striker. Again, I think he has better counters, better offense, better jab. He'll be the longer fighter too. So he's the longer young fighter. 6'2" versus 6 feet. He'll have inch reach. He'll know how to use that reach. Vettori don't really use his box very well. He kind of swing shots a lot of times. Don't know how to extend his jabs or anything. So Allen definitely, again, will have the length and he'll know how to use it better. Has better boxing. And I think he'll be able to beat Vettori by decision here. So in this one, I got Brendan Allen via decision. Now to our next fight. We have in the bantamweight division, we got Kyler Phillips versus Vinicius Oliveira. And how do I feel about this one right here? Is I'm going average confidence Vinicius Oliveira to beat Kyler Phillips. So Oliveira is on a tear. And I'm going to get behind him here. Kyler Phillips is a solid fighter, but his gas tank is very weird. He's like an asthmatic. Like he go out there, he can have the tailor-made fight. It could be going the way he wants, but his gas tank will still check out. He could have you hurt and then check out. He could be fighting a smooth, economical fight, still gas out. And it don't have to be at high altitude. Like he gassed out against Rob Font at sea level or below sea level, Vegas. He gassed out. He gassed out, and he could gas out against mediocre competition. Like he lost a flyweight at one point in his career, like gassed out bad. But yeah, Kyler Phillips is a solid fighter, but he's a extreme choke artist and a guy I can't get behind. And Vinicius Oliveira, if anything, he has shown to be a dog. Coming in multiple times as an underdog and then coming through big, whether it be like a rally decision or a rally stoppage. Like the guy's a dog. He'll push the pace. He's a solid striker. He's a big, strong guy. He could grapple. He could strike. And he definitely could deal damage. And Phillips can't take no damage. He's a pretty boy who can't take no damage. Matter of fact, he's below a pretty boy. He's a girly boy. He's a girl. He's a female. Like, dude, once you start hurting him, like, it takes a missed, like, any damage he takes, it's like quadruple. Like, somebody hit him with one body shot, that take a big chunk out of his gas tank. So he got to be hitting and moving the whole time and not being hit. But once he start getting hit, like, as a matter of fact, I don't know. But yeah, Phillips, questionable gas tank, questionable durability. I think Oliveira's going to apply that pressure to him. Phillips going to be looking to be diverse, but I think Oliveira's going to dig those toes into his gut, dig those knees to his guts, hit him with elbows, and it's really look to stalk and break down Phillips over the fight. Phillips probably going to score a couple takedowns, but Oliveira going to make him work, get back to his feet, and then continue to dig to him, continue to press him. And I think Oliveira actually stops Phillips. I'm going to say third round TKO for Vinicius Oliveira. Just really breaking down Phillips. And then when Phillips has nothing left in him, like he has in that Raw fight and the other fight, unlike the other guys, Oliveira has the power to put him away. Like, you going to be gassing and just holding on for dear life or just trying to survive, he going to put you away. So not going to be no ifs, ands, or buts. He going to kill you. That's the type of fight Oliveira. He going to smell that weakness and he going to capitalize. And he has the ability to put you away. So, in this one, I have Vinicius Oliveira via third round TKO. Now, to our next fight, we have in the lightweight division, we got Michael Johnson versus Daniel Zellhuber. And how do I feel about this one right here? Is I'm going average confidence Daniel Zellhuber to beat Michael Johnson. So, yeah, Michael Johnson is pushing 40, inconsistent fighter. But it's Michael Johnson. He's still, at this age, could pull up upset. You never know. But it's not like he's been doing anything particularly phenomenal as of late. He beat 2 cans in his last fight. Nothing to be proud of. Zellhuber has shown a sturdy chin. I think Zellhuber can win this on the feet or the ground. I actually think Zellhuber's going to win via grappling. I think it'll be a good competitive scrap, but Zellhuber going to be doing a good job of attacking the legs of Johnson. Stabbing with teeth, being a longer, younger, quicker fighter. Or at least overall quicker. Johnson definitely has the faster hands, but Zellhuber will have the faster kicks. He'll be the longer fighter. Much younger fighter. More than a decade younger. He's, 13 years younger? 2 inches taller? Nah, he's 3 inches taller. 5'11". Yeah, he's like 3 inches taller. Will have about a 3.5 inch reach advantage. And yeah, I think Zellhuber will be able to pick him apart with his length. Attack the knees, attack the body, keep him, keep him busy with the head kicks as well. Be a land counters. If Johnson starts having any success, or Johnson starts to get too predictable, or start to become too big a threat, I think Zellhuber gonna be able to mix it up and get him to the ground and sub him. I'm gonna say a second round sub for Zellhuber. So mix up, use the length, use the youth, and then set up the takedown, and then tap Johnson out on the ground. So in this one, I got Daniel Zellhuber via second round submission. Now to our next fight. How many more fights we got on today? A lot of fights. All right, I'm trying to run through these fights though. They keep going and going and going. But anyway, next fight we got in the featherweight division. We got Dan Ige versus Patricio Pitbull. Ige, he's the favorite, so obviously he's live. But I'm going Pitbull, the underdog here. I feel like Pitbull has shown nothing but toughness. I think he's been stopped by TKO once in his career. Been stopped probably in general maybe like 3 times in his career. 4, but has shown to be a sturdy guy. You really got to put him away. And I do think he's the better striker. I think he's the physically stronger fighter here. And if he mixes in his grappling, like he's been training with Cejudo to work on the grappling, Ige has been a guy that can be wrestled and he can spend too much time on bottom. And I think Pitbull can be that aggressor. Put Ige on the back foot early and then start having Ige play responsive. And that's not really a good spot for Ige, especially against elite competition. So I think Pitbull could put him on the responsive. Bite down the mouthpiece, fire him with some big shots, put him on the back foot, make him respect the power. And then start to set up his takedowns, grind out time on the clock, win some minutes there. I think this one goes the distance. Ige has shown to be extremely tough. I think it goes the distance. I think it's going to be an extremely close fight. But I think Pitbull is going to be leading the dance majority fight, the one getting the takedowns. Maybe 1 or 2 takedowns this fight. Maybe about 5 minutes of control time. Very close fight. But Pitbull, again, getting the takedowns, getting the control time, and the one leading the dance for the most part on the feet. But should be a fun scrap, but I think Pitbull takes it. So in this one, I have Patricio Pitbull via decision. Now to our next fight, we have in the welterweight division, we got Kevin Holland versus Daniel Rodriguez. And how do I feel about this one right here? I'm going average confidence Kevin Holland to beat Daniel Rodriguez. I just flat out feel like Kevin Holland's the better overall fighter. He's very durable. Welterweight is truly his weight class. He's much younger. What's he prime? He's 32. Rodriguez is 38. Not a great age. Again, Holland will be the better striker. He'll be longer, taller, younger, quicker, just as much power, if not more. Better boxing, better grappling. And I think he'll be able to break down Rodriguez, probably hurt him on the feet, then finish him on the ground. Second round submission for Kevin Holland here. So in this one, I have Kevin Holland via second round submission. Now to our next fight, we have in the middleweight division, we got Paulo Costa. How you say Paulo or Paulo? But anyway, don't matter. Borrachina, Paulo Costa versus Ramen. I said Ramen. He gonna look like Ramen after the fight, but Paulo Costa versus Roman Kopylov. And how do I feel about this one right here? I'm going low confidence Paulo Costa to beat Roman Kopylov. Let's see. Just checking on the time a little bit, but low confidence Costa to beat Kopylov. So one thing we got to remember here, what's the odds on this right now? Yeah, they got him as too big of an underdog here. One thing we got to realize here, who has Costa been fighting? He's been fighting former champions, really nothing but former champions. No, he got the Vettori fight in the mix there, but other than that, former champions. And guys that have fought for the belt, like Vettori still fought for the belt. For nothing but good fighters. So Vettori is an elite fighter. More proven elite than Kopylov has ever been proven elite. But still, his last fight, a split decision against Strickland. It really shouldn't have been a split decision, but he went 5 rounds with Strickland, former champion. And I would say at the very least he did better than Adesanya. So he fought Strickland last, did better than Adesanya. Fought Whitaker, won a round off Whitaker. And some close, really it was a close fight in general against Whitaker. But, clear winner, but it was a close fight. Just a couple little things different, and he could have won that fight on the judges' scorecard. That's how close it was. Like, it was a clear winner, but Whitaker did extra things to win the fight. But it was a close fight. With, like saying, it was a fight probably going down to the final minute, maybe tied up, with a minute on the clock, and then Whitaker hit a jumper, or Whitaker just got that hustle foul, and he got those free throws. That's how he won it. He did it smarter things, and Costa did it in that third round. That's why Whitaker's the champion, and Costa's not, and never will be. And Yeah, he's been fighting nothing but really world champions outside Vettori. And it's not like he's been extremely dominated. Only fight that he's been dominated in was the Adesanya fight. That's the only fight really in his whole career where he's been dominating. He's been fighting nothing but world champions. He's been losing, but has not been dominated. He had Whitaker hurt. Again, it was like 1-1 going into that third round, and he had the round going into that round. So he had won the round. He had the momentum. Whitaker swung it back to win the fight in that third round. So he's been fighting elite competition. Roman Kopylov has been fighting elite competition. Another thing, Kopylov is weak to the body. We saw against that former kickboxer that he fought, like the fight was swinging against him, but he was able to fight that kickboxer and take him to the ground in the third round. He had a good, strong first round. Second round was a bad round. He was getting picked apart and dug to the body. His gas tank, we were seeing him wilt, but then he used his experience. He took him down, and that was a kickboxer who was only 2 fights into the UFC. So he had the experience advantage. He had the well-rounded advantage, the grappling advantage, and he used that advantage in that third round to win the fight. Again, Costa will have the grappling advantage. Costa has experience advantage. Costa, is known for digging to the body. Costa is very durable. And yeah, I think Costa is, again, that level of competition. We got to respect that level of competition. I think Costa will be able to, stay on him, have the grappling advantage, dig in the body, and if any, Costa might be the one that be able to use the grappling advantage to edge around, take Kopylov down. Kopylov, when he's been taken down in his career, has not looked the best off his back. One fight he got out grappled to a decision. Other fight he got taken down by a kickboxer and submitted. And I think that was in his debut. I think Costa again will be able to defend him well, apply the pressure, box him, rip him to the body, mixing his own takedowns. I think it's going to be a competitive scrap, but I think Costa's work to the body is going to wear on Kopylov. His pressure is going to wear on Kopylov. And then ultimately he'll have the grappling advantage, and that also will play a factor. So when needed, if needed, or just to put the cherry on top, he'll be able to mix in the grappling or reverse the grappling if Kopylov tries to take him down when he's not enjoying the pressure. Because I can see that happening, where Costa's applying pressure, he's digging in the body, Kopylov's hands started to drop, he started to get caught with some hooks, and then he started to get desperate, try to go for a single, try to go for a double, and then Costa just swings him around and puts him on bottom, and then just smothers him there for the remainder of that round. Probably hit him with some more body shots while he's on top. And I can see that happening here. But ultimately, Paulo Costa will be able to mix in the body, use his experience, use the grappling advantage to beat Kopylov to a decision here. So in this one, I got Paulo Costa via decision. Now to our main event, we have in the lightweight division for the BMF title. Why am I saying like that? We have in the lightweight division for the UFC's BMF title, Max Holloway versus Dustin Poirier 3. Holloway defending his BMF belt. So he's giving Poirier another thing to take from him. So, Poirier took his debut, gave him a loss in his debut. Poirier beat him for a UFC interim belt. And I think that was his lightweight debut. So he beat him in your featherweight debut. He beat him in his lightweight debut. And now looks like he's going to beat him for his BMF debut. So it's a lot of things going against Holloway here. Poirier's already up 2-0 on him. Poirier has already beat him in every debut he has. And Holloway's not good in trilogies. I mean, he hasn't really done. Yeah, he's winless in trilogies currently because he lost to Volk all 3 times. He's not winless. He's not winless in rematch because he did beat Aldo twice. But I'm saying as far as when he's lost, he's never beat a person in those rematches. Is all I'm gonna say right now. Where I'm trying to go with this. But yeah, I'm going Poirier here. How do I feel about this one? I'm going low confidence Poirier to beat Holloway. Again, Holloway just has not seemed to get over that hump. Another thing going against him, BMF fighters have never successfully defended their BMF belts. Like, who was the first? Jorge won the belt. He never defended it. And then when he did come back to fight, he lost. So he technically never lost the BMF belt. But he didn't win after getting the belt. Then who was the next BMF fighter? I think it was Gaethje. He won it by beating Poirier. Then in his next fight, he got knocked out. Oh, another thing, I mean, you can take and say that all BMF holders did get knocked. But then again, he already got knocked out. He won the BMF belt, then he got knocked out by Poirier. So everybody that won the BMF belt got knocked out right after. So Jorge won the belt, they got knocked out by Usman, but the BMF belt was not up for grabs. Gaethje won the BMF belt by knocking out Poirier, then he got knocked out by Holloway. Holloway won the belt by knocking out Gaethje, then he got knocked out by Poirier, but the BMF belt wasn't on the line. So Holloway technically might be out of that curse right now because he already got knocked out. But no one has ever successfully defended the BMF belt, so that's still against him. But I'll go Poirier here. I don't like the fact that if this was right after the Gaethje fight, and Holloway just stayed at lightweight and continued to put on mass there, I would maybe lean Holloway here. But the fact that he cut down to 45 again, got knocked out. He's coming off the first knockout loss of his career. You don't know how he's going to deal with that. He's probably going to be more tentative, more scared, more this, more that. And Poirier's going to be able to take advantage of that. And Poirier's already up 2-0 on him. So I think Poirier will beat him again, maybe even knock him out. But I'll say decision. I think Holloway at 55, his chin going to be a little bit more durable. He probably put the time in to put the mask on, so he'll be able to take a shot better. He's trained. I'm not trained. He fought Poirier multiple times, so he knows what Poirier brings. Still probably not going to be able to defend it that well, but he'll at least know what's coming. So I think he'll be able to make it this. I think it still will be another competitive scrap, just as the last fight was. But I think unlike last time he fought Poirier, he just didn't really adapt to the weight class. So Poirier did have more mass, so his punches did have more effect on him. And in general, Poirier does have a lot of power, but yeah, the mass was a thing. But this time I think it's going to be not really so much the mass and power. The power is still going to be there. It's not going to be the mass so much, but it's going to be the respect and the concern of the power so much. So Holloway's going to be a little bit more defensive. Like he starts to get hit. It might not have the same effect as it did the last fight, but he's going to be thinking about the Poirier fight. He's going to be thinking about Hook, so he'll be a little bit tentative about it. And then Poirier's going to be able to see that and take advantage of whether he's going to look to set up takedown, look to set up other strikes, or look to just get Holloway off him, slow Holloway down. So it's going to be similar to the last fight, but in a different way. But competitive scrap, Holloway's still probably going to land more, very close. But Poirier's probably going to land the bigger shots over the course of the 25 minutes. And probably score the takedowns over the 25 minutes. Maybe like 1 or 2 takedowns. Holloway might score like 1. And Poirier's going to land the heavier shots. And Holloway's definitely going to be not super, he's going to be a lot more receptive to the shots coming back than the past. Because for the first time in his career, he's been knocked out. He didn't get no tune-up fight in between. So he's going to be receptive to that. But yeah, Poirier going to land more damage. Win the grappling exchanges. And win a close decision over Holloway again to end the trilogy. So, also, this is in Louisiana as well. So, a lot of different factors here going against Holloway. So, in this one, I got Dustin Poirier via decision. And that concludes my fight predictions for the full card of fights for UFC 318, Holloway versus Poirier 3. And as always, thanks for watching. Peace.